Join Dessie Brown as he gives you inside access to industry leaders who are making it happen in entertainment, film, music, sports, and politics. It's the YouKnowDessie Show.
Yo, it's the YouKnowDessie Show, and we live in H-Town, Texas, with Houston's own, the hottest artist out of Houston right now, Stunna BAM. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
My pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, man, thank you so much for being on the YouKnowDessie Show. I know you're a busy man, making things happen.
Right.
So, talk about coming up in Third Ward and being into music, and how was your first experience with music?
I mean, Third Ward introduced me to music, coming up under Big Mo, Cal Wayne, J5's, Big Thirds, Miss Kenya. It's a lot of people from Third Ward that was doing it before me. Yeah. That motivated me to get into business.
Yeah, and I'm from East Texas, but growing up and then going to college, like Big Mo, that City of Serb and things like that, like that was one of a big moment, not only for Houston, but just, we claim Texas, period. So, so seeing that and coming up in that era, did that make you want to get into music yourself, or were you just a consumer at the time, or how was that?
Yeah, that's my favorite album ever, man. It's like that album, real therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that album motivated me more than any album. That's what I used to go. I played ball, so I used to be going to my games as a kid, like my son age, jamming that CD right there.
City of Serb as a kid? That's a laugh.
City of Serb, man.
Yeah, so when did you start, rapping yourself?
When I got older, in my late teens, when life started, hitting me. Yeah. When real life started, attacking me, and I couldn't do nothing about it.
So it was more so, so the music was therapeutic and a way to release more so than, having a good time? Because you know how sometimes people get into music because they want to have a good time and floss and things like that, but then you have artists like Zero that have like music like that's more painful.
Right, I say that, like it was more so, I was, releasing my feelings in the music. And, like I say, some of it fun, all of it's fun to me, just the whole process and what it do, for my energy. But on the back end, I think it was most a therapeutic situation where it was helping me release my feelings.
Yeah, and then you said you started rapping as a teenager. So what was your first rap name?
Z-Man.
Z-Man. Okay, talk about it. Why?
That was my nickname coming up. So, instantly, that was my rap name. But, once I got knee deep in the game, I had to change my name. And, I just decided to go with Stunna BAM, out of respect for my little brother.
And that's what I was going to say. What does it mean? Talk about it.
Well, my little brother lost his life, and that's just something I promised him, over his grave. Like, I'm going to make sure I continue his legacy, and do it the right way.
Did he do music as well?
Nah. He just, somebody that was loved from my hood that, lost his life on some mistaken identity shit. And, again, man, that's my little bro, so I'm going to make sure I stand tall for him for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay, and then as you were coming up, kind of what was your first break, what you would consider you kind of getting into the industry?
Man, I say jumping off the porch with my people that I come up with, DSD1. That was my first introduction to the game, and we lasted a couple of years.
Lil Man and those cats? Or?
Nah. This Lil Rick, and I started with T. Ferris, and just my people that I was raised with.
Yeah. So I guess when you finally got in a position to where you start making some noise and everything like that, whether it was Houston, outside of Houston, everything like that, how did you feel, and what was kind of the moment where you knew things were working? Because sometimes you trying to be an artist, you trying to work and make things happen, but may not feel like you're getting attraction. So what moment was it that you knew you had something?
I mean, to be honest with you, I've been having that feeling since I was a young nigga, just playing
you
ball.
You was always popping, nigga.
Yeah, I always had that. Whatever I did, I was good at it. I was playing volleyball, and I ain't even play volleyball. Like, I was good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I was blessed, you know, by nature, man, just to have some common sense, to know how to adjust, and just talented to why shit I can do whatever.
Yeah. And then I know, so talk about after the DS-D1 situation, where were you at, and then how did you hook up with 1501?
I went independent, you know, about 4 years, something like that. Just gaining my own wings, you know, keeping the love going in my city. And, you know, years down the line, Carl Crawford, he just tapped in with me. And, like, by that third time us communicating, you know, she decided it was time to, you know, cross each other. And it was history from there. Yeah.
And then, you know, Houston is one of those places that you feel like if you can make it out here and make it to the top, you can really make it anywhere, because Houston, so much of the culture influences music everywhere. Right. You know, whether it's Serb and a DJ Screw thing, or you know what I'm saying, or the UGK influence, or even like Scarface and other artists like that. So how do you kind of pay homage to the artists before through your music?
I go everywhere and rep them the right way. We got a lot of artists out here that done got the action and, you know, made us look bad. So, you know, on the back end, that's the most I can do. You know, I mean, speak verbally, speak highly of them verbally, and you know, back door and represent us well. Yeah.
And then, how did the pandemic affect you and your music? Because, you know, normally artists are used to moving around, doing shows all over the place and things like that. But then with the pandemic, you know, most people thought it was going to last just a short period of time, but then it kind of kept going and going and going. So how did it affect you and your music?
I mean, I just kept going. You know, I was building, you know, a whole nother situation. During the pandemic, I had like 3 major labels trying to sign me. So my situation kind of different than everybody else's, you know. And then too, even without that, like, you know, like I wake up every day and get active in the street. So, you know, the pandemic was straight for me. You feel me? I ain't had no breaking moments where life wasn't treating me good. I'm thankful, you know, the pandemic, going through a pandemic, I still can provide for my son and, you know, for myself and for my career.
Dope. And then, you know, as far as releasing music, were you, did you feel better about releasing music? Because what I would tell a lot of artists is during the pandemic, everyone was kind of even. So, you know, if you had an iPhone and access to the internet, then you could kind of do anything. So I know a lot of independent artists and artists that were coming up released a lot of music versus like, seemed like some of the major labels for a minute, they kind of slowed down thinking that they didn't want to release big projects if they were not going to be able to go on tour. So did you release a lot of music? Did you, or what did you end up doing?
I mean, I never been a fan of releasing a lot of music because I never knew how to get paid off of music. I never got no, you know, money that I can take care of myself. You know, now I'm ready to drop music because I'm in a system where I know they're gonna make sure I get my money. So, you know, I mean, back then, I was on some fuck music.
So what was you doing? Releasing one song at a time and working it, or how did people know you for music?
I mean, you gotta think about it. I mean, I done hit the billboards. I had #1 records in the city, so for the most part. But that don't mean, you know, y'all was seeing that, and I was still dealing with, you know, still having to wake up and get in the streets to get my money. You feel me? So, you know, on the back end, when the business not together, that's what happened. So. You know, again, like I say, I'm just thankful that I was one of them ones that was born into it, you know, to where whether music paid me or not, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah, dope. So, so talk about the current project and the single that you got with your label mate Erica Banks and how that's going.
Man, I got a new record called Rock Out featuring Erica Banks. Man, it's growing right before our eyes. She one of the hottest chicks in the country right now. When I put the record together, I knew it was a decent record. Didn't know how far it can go, but because again, I'm caught up in that, you know, that City of Serb sound. You know, like like I really, you know, cater to that sound. Like I was in love with them while they was in live. Like I touched them. You know, like I'm probably the only Houston rapper, you feel me, that can say, you know, I was around these people. I went to their funerals and all that. I got my hair cut with them.
Real relationships with them.
I remember these people rubbing my head, you feel me? So, you know, when I made the Rock Out record, I wasn't too fond of what I had, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just appreciate, you know, the growth I'm seeing right before my eyes and all the people that's supporting it in the radio and the DJs and all that.
And with the record with Erica, did y'all already have that crafted before you signed here, or was that something that ended up?
Nah, that's something they just presented me the beat and was like, man, we know this ain't your type speed, but just, you know, we want to see where you can go. I was like, man, put that bitch on. Let's do it.
But that's how it is sometimes, right? I was just listening to an interview with Busta Rhymes yesterday, and he was talking about the record, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See.
Right.
And he was talking about how Diddy influenced him to do that record and approach that record in a different way. Like, he never would have rapped calm on something, but Diddy was kind of like, well, you know, the chicks want to hear your voice regular sometimes.
Right,
so, you know, so it's dope that you were, you know, cool enough and sure of yourself enough to, okay, well, I'll try this. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to being negative about it and not wanting to go outside of what you normally do.
Right.
And the rest is history, right?
Nah, for real, man.
Yeah.
You know, people like think I can make them records. I mean, if I ain't got no guidance in the game, I'm gonna go for what I know. I'm gonna go for what raised me. So that's what situation I was in. Like, but then again, shit, that sound that I built, I mean, it changed the Houston sound. It motivated a lot of young niggas to, you know, be who they is today. So, you know, I'm appreciative just to have both sides.
For sure. And you know, talk about, I guess, what's next for you before I get you out of here.
Man, we about to drop a project called Baptized in Lord to my first project. I'm gonna release with 1501 and E1. And man, like I say, shit, we just gonna keep on rolling these records out, shooting videos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep shaking hands, taking pictures, and hugging babies, man.
Already, man. Politics, you know what I'm saying? Out here politicking. So if people want to check out your music, you know what I'm saying? Tell them how to find you on Instagram.
You can just type in STUNNA BAM in all your platforms on Instagram, STUNNA BAM 3, but just type in STUNNA BAM on all your platforms, it'll pop up.
Man, I appreciate you for being on the YouKnowDessie show, man.
I appreciate you, baby.
And we definitely go build. Shout out to your son, man, on the football field. And we talked offline about putting some stuff together as well. So we definitely gonna stay in touch, man, and build.
Definitely, man.
I appreciate you.
Man. I appreciate you.
All right, peace. It's the YouKnowDessie show, live from Houston, Texas, 1501, STUNNA BAM. We out here.